Are there any other comments or questions to what we saw?
Not only that this sculpture, which is here, which Graham showed, the original name of the sculpture was the Communists. I don't know what is the sculpture, the name of the sculpture now, because it's still standing there really in the heart of Prague. And also as to separation, that's one of the most ridiculous things in Prague, that this is actually the highway, this is the highway cutting Prague in half, going through the main square. So it doesn't have to be a bridge, you know, it can be on the level of pedestrians.
Of course, we speak about like impressions, yeah, but from what you see from the building. But you also said, I'm speaking about this, that you said that it's oppressing the building underneath, or you think it's very oppressive. And you said also that it's kind of, you see as a parallel to this building. But you would say it's the same for this building, that it's oppress the nature underneath, and
that was my reaction to it when I first came here and when I first saw pictures of it. And along with the heat, I found this place unbearable in exactly the same form. My affection for this space comes with being in it. Would my affection for that space evolve by being in it? I don't think so, but it is significant that the architectural community of Prague has argued persuasively for it. People call it a sewing machine, a flying frying pan. It doesn't have any particular popular affection, but certainly the exhibition of Czechoslovak communist history was really quite emotional, not for the exhibition, but how many people are using that space and going into it and talking about a history. I don't think in the future that this building will serve as a monument to communism, but I don't think it'll ever be a particularly friendly building, in contrast to this one.
More questions or comments? Maybe you want to say something. Okay, so we'll finish with William. William, thanks a lot. Then we need a few minutes for the next speaker without break.
So we'll just go directly into it. She's Stein.
I thought perhaps he would not make a choice before and after. This is an example, a very good example, or an example. This is an example or a very good example. Let me lead you to find this. If in the beginning you mention explaining, could he be angry? Could he really be angry that you had not explained it to him?
Suppose or supposing that you had an invitation. Suppose someone had been very inviting, supposing someone had given him an invitation, supposing you had been given him to listen to an explanation, suppose there had been an explanation, supposing you had given an explanation. I can explain visiting, I can explain how it happened accidentally, that fortunately no explanation was necessary.
I explain wording and painting, and sealing and closing. I explain opening and reasoning and rolling. I was just rolling. What did he say? He said I was not mistaken, and yet I had not, when he was not prepared for an explanation. I had not begun explaining. It is in a way a cause for congratulation. It is in a way cause for congratulation. And now to seriously discuss my needing, and to discuss very seriously why they have asked for my mediation. To begin now, small examples are preferable. They are preferred. And do they stop them? And yet, do they stop them? Preferred as to preference, I prefer them. If you connect them, do you connect them in this way? If small examples are preferable and are preferred, and they are connected in this way, we may say yesterday was nearly 17 days earlier than today, 17 days earlier in any way. It is connected in this way. Small examples are preferable. They are preferred.
Elucidation, the sad procession of the unkilled bull, and then stand around. To next, to be next to it, to be a next to it. We understand that you overtake to overthrow our undertaking. This is not originally said to frame words, this is originally said to underestimate words. Do you believe in stretches, stretches of time, stretches of scenery, and stretches of thirds? Every third we rhyme. In this way, influence is general. Let me recognize copies.
Extra gum.
Extra gum.
Gum extra.
An extra gum.
An extra rubber.
An extra oil.
An extra soap.
An extra wish.
Wish and white.
Reasons are right.
White and wish.
Reasons for which they have most occasion. They have more occasion for one wish than for another wish.
Do you all understand, if you please?
Do you all understand why I explain?
Do you all understand elucidation and extra addresses?
Do you all understand why she sees me?
Do you all understand practice and precept?
Do you all understand principal and secondary?
Do you all understand extraneous memory?
Let me see how earnestly you plead for me.
Let me see. More beginning.
I begin, you begin, we begin, they begin. They began, we began, and I began, I began. I began and you begin. We begin, they begin. They begin, you begin, we begin, and I began. You began and I began. I feel the need of a walk-in ceremony, of a talk-in ceremony, of chalk-in ceremony. I feel the need of chalk-in ceremony. And it was used to. And it was used to.
A settled explanation.
I know the difference between white marble and black marble. White and black marble make a checkerboard, and I never mentioned either. Either of them, you know very well that I may have said no.